Good evening, everyone. We are on time today. Not early as usual. How you doing? Let me see here. How you doing, J Boss? What's
Good
up, man?
evening, everyone.
We are on time today. Not early as usual. Good evening. Yeah. All right, CJ Boss is here. How you doing, my Portuguese brother? Dude, I had such a frustrating Monday. Um, no, it was a scam, dude. The house, that was a total scam. In Florida, as usual, real estate's always a scam. Dude, welcome to the show, everyone. I just have to talk about this real quick, regardless. Listen, well, let me do a little fake monologue here for the start, okay? Um, Tonight we have to talk about Bill Maher. That's the biggest story that I think is worth paying attention to. Bill Maher, who's a longtime nemesis of this show. I don't like him. I find him to be very annoying, but a very important signal is interviewing mentally disabled people now in a way that is not great. Okay, so we're gonna get to that. We're also gonna watch some Vivek cringe. We're gonna start with Kiriakou, but before we do all that, I wish we had the pre-show, but I have to talk to Jay Boss, who's here, about this. Dude, I hate the iPhone now. I really, really hate it a lot, and I've only used an iPhone for a bit, and I'm trying to find another iPhone. And since you're in Europe, I wanted to ask you. Um, I want to get this phone because I don't care about iMessage anymore. They can't control me. I mean, this is a free man talking. Where's the clip?
Come on, man. This is a free man talking.
I don't want the stupid iMessage anymore. I don't care. I want this phone, but they only sell it in Europe, apparently. Or they sell it in America maybe this time around. It's called the Sony 1.8. Because let me tell you my frustration with these phones before we get into it. Why I hate the iPhone. I hate all of this stuff now. Is that I want to have a SIM card, a physical SIM card. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm just insane. I want it. I want to have the SIM card. Okay? I want to have it. And they keep taking them away. Secondly, I'm an iPhone user, but I would prefer to use an SD card for storage. Android got rid of that. This is just the worst of all worlds, man. Like the new phones, they completely suck. The new iPhones are bad. And then I was like, oh, let me buy a Google Pixel. Let me see if that's good. No SD card, no SIM card. And I'm like, what is the point of this phone then? What is the point of Android? I haven't had Android in years. Aren't you back and forth between EU and US with the EU citizenship to get that phone? No. That's true. I could buy it. First of all, the price is outrageous. Okay, this phone, which is really good apparently, and the new one's coming out on Wednesday. It's called the Sony Xperia 1.8. Is $1,800. I don't know how Sony why they would price it at this, but it's an amazing phone, and I'm like, you know what? It sucks, but I'd rather pay an extra $500 and get a phone that works as opposed to paying $1,300 for another fucking iPhone. I hate this phone. This phone sucks, man. It sucks. I hate this phone so much. I hate the iPhone. I really hate it. So I'm like, I'll pay a little bit more to get this phone. But they might not sell it in America. They might only sell it in Europe or Asia, because that's the other thing is you can go get good phones in China, but they don't work in the US and they're China only, the Huawei's, okay? And you can go to Hong Kong and buy the iPhone with the SIM card in it still because it's illegal to do eSIM in China. And I'm like, that's cool. I don't want to fly to Hong Kong to do that. And then if I ship it here, I have to pay tariffs or whatever scam there is. All of these phones are so bad and no one is complaining about it anymore. J-Boss says, yeah, Apple's about taking away things from... Dude, Apple is just... It's embarrassing how bad... How you doing, Audio Vibes? It is embarrassing how bad Apple has got it. I hate it. I know people with the latest iPhone, they hate it. They hate it. That's the biggest thing. It's not even being cheap. I don't even know what iPhone this is. I don't know if this is the iPhone 13, 11. I don't upgrade it because I'm like, I hate this phone. I hate it. I hate using it. I don't like it. And I see people using the new one and they hate it too. So what's the point of getting a new one? It sucks, man. It sucks. It's terrible. It's really bad. I didn't even want to go back to Android. But now I'm like, fuck it, dude, maybe this Sony. So if anyone knows any phones that are worth picking up that have an SD card, a good camera, and a SIM card, I would appreciate it because I've done my research with Gemini and I can't really find anything. The Pixel looked interesting. The OneNote did not look good. But I might even make a video about this, dude. I am sick and tired of this Apple shit. This phone is terrible. This is the worst phone available at the moment. Historically, if Steve Jobs had put this out, we would have dropped him. This phone is so bad. I hate this phone. I hate it. I hate this phone. Audio guy says, oh God, Bill Maher. Yeah, Bill Maher tonight. Bill Maher, J-Boss says, the iPhone isn't what it was. My problem is I don't want to learn another phone. I know boomer take, but I'm a millennial. I have seen, I'm not saying this is what you are, J-Boss. This subset of like boomer millennials and boomer Gen Xers and actual boomers that cannot admit the phone sucks because of what you're saying. And I get what you're saying. People should say, hey man, I don't want to learn a new phone. That's fine. Perfectly acceptable. But they're like, it's the best phone and I don't want to learn a new one. It's no, dude. So you would switch phones. But you can't admit this phone is bad. Can people admit this phone's, I hate this phone. I hate the iPhone. The iPhone sucks. The iPhone 8 was great. The iPhone 4 was great. This phone is ass. I don't even know which phone. Let me check right now. What phone do I have? I know this is autistic, dude, but I hate it. I hate it. Which iPhone do I have? Is that in settings? What? iPhone storage. What is this phone called? People have to go into their phone to figure out what the phone is now. I don't know what the fuck this phone is. No. This is an iPhone 13 Pro Max. This phone sucks, dude. And the iPhone 17 Pro Max is ass. I have seen it. I have used it and people don't like it. This phone is terrible. I hate this phone. I hate this phone. And I want a phone that's good. And it seems like it's the Sony Xperia 1.8, which is the last company. Sony's still making phones. But it's $1,800. And I don't want to pay that for a phone. It's ridiculous. How do people keep buying this piece of shit phone, dude? How is this phone over $1,000? This phone is worth like $400, maybe $600. I fucking hate this phone. You know what was $1,000 phone? The iPhone 8 Plus. That was $1,000 phone. That was a great phone. J-Boss says, oh, I totally admit it sucks, especially the latest iOS. Dude, I don't even know if I updated the iOS. I ignore them completely. I usually don't get bothered by this stuff, by tech stuff. I don't really. But I just don't understand. The phone in particular, the best computer is Lenovo. That's just true. It's Lenovo. Lenovo makes the best computers. Cool. Thank you, China, for buying Lenovo. This phone sucks, and there is no competitor to it right now. And that really, it really just bothers me that we have to accept this mediocrity of Apple. What do they make that's still good? What do they make that's still good? It all sucks. They're making phones like printers now. They will all suck. Dude, yeah. I ignore updates too until I have to install that. Yeah. Dude, that's so true. I went on an autistic, I found the best printer, by the way. I haven't bought it yet. The best printer is a printer that Brother makes, which is like dummy proof. No, you can buy with no Wi-Fi connection, straight USB. It's like $150, $200. I forgot the name of it. The printers, though, that they sell, the printers are just terrible. It makes you an Alex Jones conspiracy theorist. You're like, it can't be getting worse. The only things getting better are like laptops that Lenovo makes because the rest of them are getting terrible. I don't understand this market. I don't understand how technology has gotten this bad, but it pisses me off. It really, if there's one thing about this world, which is hell, one thing.
We live in hell. We live in the gutter.
Can we at least have a good phone that is not a ripoff? Eves, how you doing? Is Samsung still good? Eves, Samsung doesn't even have a physical, no, I think they have a physical SIM card, but they make you pay for storage now. They make you can't put an SD card in the phone. What? And all right, thank you. I appreciate it, Samsung, the OneNote and all that. But this sucks. Why can't I decide my storage? How greedy do these people have to be? I feel like Seinfeld, dude, but this does piss me off. I don't like this. I hate new phones. J Boss says, watch them stop producing the best printer you found. Happens to me all the time. Dude, it was a good printer. Hang on. Let me drop you some knowledge, man, because I spent like 3 hours, no, probably like 45 minutes with Gemini. Brother dummy printer. It's probably called the dummy. I don't know what it's called. Like it has nothing on it. No, dude, what is this called? Like, brother printer, basic. I know this is boring, dude, but it pisses me off. Basic model, no internet. This is a really good printer. This one, the HL L2400D. This printer, if I'm not mistaken, is the one that everyone is shilling on like Reddit and stuff. This printer here. This printer is supposed to be good, actually. And you can buy the upgraded model, which has Wi-Fi on it, but you don't need to. This is just insane how bad everything. All right, let's get to the show. If anyone has any experience with the Sony Xperia 1, 7, or 6, please let me know. It seems like a good phone. I don't want to pay $1,800 for the 8, but I will pay it. I will pay it. Even though I know I'm getting ripped off, because the iPhone is an embarrassment to the human race. The iPhone is disgusting and it should be banished.
You can't do it. It's disgusting.
All right, let's get to the show. I fucking hate the iPhone. Let's get to the show. All right, I have been wanting to say that since Sunday. I was raging, seething inside, talking to Gemini. No one wants to hear my phone rant in real life, obviously, because everyone's like, oh, shut up, man. At least here I can talk. Even if no one were in the chat, I would say the same thing. I fucking hate the iPhone. I hate what Apple has become. This new CEO cannot save this decrepit company, which it should go bankrupt. That's how bad it is. Steve Jobs would go postal if he were alive today. He would go into the Apple building and kill everyone. It's disgusting what they have done to Apple, a great company. Oh, that's great that you have a third of the company in cash, Tim Cook. I could have seen that being a bad idea. It's not, oh, really? It's good to have a third of $1 trillion company in cash. Why don't you fucking retire in 2019? You suck. And then you get raped by ChatGPT and Gemini because you didn't put money anywhere that mattered. It is infuriating. It is infuriating. What happened to capitalism? Who broke capitalism? It sucks, but at least it kind of worked for a little bit. And now it's just terrible. Now it's just annoying. I hate it. I hate it. The new CEO has no inspiration. He's insipid. The thing is, the new CEO apparently was a product designer. So we should be somewhat hopeful. Let me see. Who's the new Apple CEO? I'm going to make a video about this, dude. I fucking hate this. John Turnus. Yeah, he was hardware engineering. So at least, hardware engineering is kind of chill. At least he's like handling a physical product when he's doing stuff. This John Turnus guy. But this idiot, this Tim Cook, honestly, dude, if Tim Cook, we're not Fed. This guy ruined a great American company. This guy is the worst, dude. He ruined Apple. I hate it. 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 Isn't it ironic, actually, for all the wignats, that an Arab Syrian made this company great, and then the white man came in and he was all gay and ruined the company? Isn't that ironic? Maybe we need to let in 1 billion Syrians so that we could have an amazing Apple again. Maybe that's what was doing it. Okay, because it seems like the white guy ruined the company. Everyone's always like, oh, Indians ruin companies. Seems like the white guy ruined it. The Syrian Arab who was adopted and no one wanted made the greatest company in the world. And now he's gone and the company sucks. Whatever. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Apple was a great company and they ruined it. They ruined it. How are you doing, CCTV? How are you doing, Dimitri? Samsung's better. But they don't let you put in an SD card anymore. What is the point? What? Tell me which Samsung, Dimitri. I'm looking for someone to tell me what phone to get because I can't research this anymore. I can't. Okay? Can't. All right. Let's get to the show. Let's get to the actual show. Where do we play in? All right. Schizo Watch is great. It is so good. It is so good. It is so good because this weekend, the S8, which one's the Samsung S8? Dude, I promise I'm not going to monopolize, but I need a phone. Let me see. The S8 Active. Can I put in a US SD card? Can I put in a SD card and a SIM card? Does it have a physical SIM card? Yeah, Audio Vibes hates their iPhone. I'm not surprised. It sucks. I'll look into this. I appreciate it. Micro SD, that's nice. Does it have a SIM card? All right. Whatever. Let's get to the show. I wanted to start here. This is Kevin O'Leary, who we talked about last week, which I will remind you, Kevin O'Leary and his wife killed someone. Oh, you forgot about that. Oh, no, he killed someone. Let's see. Kevin O'Leary was giving dating advice last time. What advice is he giving now? What advice? Yes, I'm going to look into that. Thank you, Dimitri.
The idea of suspending the gas tax seems to suggest that the president thinks this is going to go on for a long time.
North America does not have a problem with access to energy or oil. Between the Canadians and what is domestically brought out of the ground, we have an abundance of nat gas and oil. The problem we have is it's priced internationally where people have limited supplies as a result of this.
Yeah, you know what's crazy about this? And I don't know if this is going to sound a little racist.
Again, I don't want to get all racist or whatever, but
Kevin O'Leary is from Canada, right? I don't know if this is going to make sense in your head, but it makes sense for me. My association of foreigners voting in the United States were always Hispanic immigrants. And they go to the polling station, they don't speak English perfectly, but they go to vote because that's my parents, right? When Kevin O'Leary is giving political advice, I'm confused. The reason my mother votes in American elections, despite her patriotism, is because she cannot vote in Venezuela because it's a third world tin pot dictatorship. He's from Canada. Why is he giving us election advice? He can vote in a real election. I've been seeing this more. Australians, New Zealanders giving Americans advice. You're not even from here. At least I was born here. I love this country. Why does Kevin O'Leary go vote in your real election in Canada? What are we talking about? These people are here giving us advice. And, I'm sure that there's people in here being like, oh, King Leo, the spick is going to tell me. Okay, whatever, dude. I feel like I have a part of this country. Who is this guy to come in here and tell me how to vote? Jim Carrey, same thing. Why are you telling me how to vote? You can go vote in a real election. My parents can't vote in their fake election. You can vote in your real election. Let's continue. I can't. How do they get away with this?
Straight being closed down. So it's very easy to drop the 18 or 16 cents off if the Congress wants to do that, they can. The bigger issue around getting back to the negotiating table, one of the strategies is to do further tenderization. And what I mean on that is don't kill people. Just tell them, look, you don't have any Air Force anymore. We're going to go in and take out bridge by bridge by bridge by bridge by bridge and just...
Sound is low, sir. Let me see if there's anything we can do about that because unfortunately... Oh, yeah, I can bring up the desktop audio.
Make it really friggin' miserable for your people until you come to the table, get rid of the nuke and the processed uranium, whatever that is, 96 pounds, and you admit that you do not own the strait and you let the people... Because, by the way,
so
as I agree with Scott, when he gets to China...
When he gets to China, Iran intentionally, that's inching very close to a war crime.
Why is that a war crime?
Also, they don't care.
That's enough. I don't want to fight it because of the desktop audio. Kevin O'Leary is saying that President Trump should tenderize Iran by bombing it and destroying all the bridges, which people wonder, as Abby Phillips, our queen over here, Abby Phillips, the greatest. She's like, isn't this a war crime? I'm sorry. If Kevin O'Leary knows about anything, it's about killing people and getting away with it.
Sensational.
I think this is something where he can actually give us some advice. This is actually good. Kevin O'Leary knows how to kill people and get away with it. So I think that it is good to bring him on CNN to tell America how to kill people. And by the way, it's not killing people, as he says, it's tenderizing. He puts it in real. We're just going to tenderize. I mean, this is great advice. If I needed advice on how to like get away with something like this, I'd have to call up the spirit of O.J. Simpson through like a seance and a Ouija board, or I could speak to Kevin O'Leary, who, again, I really want to emphasize this, killed someone. He killed someone with his wife. They killed someone together, allegedly, but they actually killed them. This part of the show is scripted for legal purposes. Kevin O'Leary killed someone. Let's continue. This is great advice. Thank you. I wanted to show this over here. This is, I have to show you, this is, you're going to be like, I don't know if you saw this original clip here, okay? But look, this is a homosexual couple here who was harassed. We're gonna look at this. I think we might have played this on Goyim Have Gone Insane. This homosexual couple was harassed by an internet streamer. And you know what? Let's watch it and then we're gonna discuss, because I really am annoyed by this.
We were making our way across the rainbow crosswalk, and he spotted us. He said, "Hey, can you do a few questions for CNN?"
Is this your guys' son or daughter? Or?
Son.
Awesome. And are you guys a couple?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Cool.
As soon as he asked the first question, we knew that they weren't with CNN, that this was something different.
So, have you ever heard about the statistics coming out that gay men are statistically much more likely to commit child molestation?
No.
You never heard about that before?
Crazy, yeah.
In that instant, I realized that we were manipulated into having this interaction with someone who was exploiting us for viral content.
So you had a surrogate? You paid a woman $50,000 to be pregnant and build an emotional connection to a baby? Hey, don't take my
New parents Anthony and David Vullen were approached in West Hollywood by someone they say was falsely claiming he was with CNN. The man then provoked the couple with a false statistic about gay men.
When someone inserts themselves into a specific community with the intention of triggering people, it's not freedom of expression, it's exploitation.
That someone is Riley Nemi.
What makes somebody a woman?
Fashioning himself as a MAGA influencer, he takes to college campuses and to the streets to create rage bait.
This got bent by a non-binary faculty member at UCLA, actually. It's on video. It's got millions of views.
I'm just trying to figure out like how much of this stuff is like you intentionally just, you know, trying to get a rise out of people, trying to create content versus like how serious you.
I think it should be illegal to be transgender.
You think it what?
I think it should be illegal to become transgender in adults.
Nemi says he's motivated by politics, but what he is doing can also be profitable.
The rate at which my social media is growing, I could easily live off of it in probably 4 or 5 months from now.
What's your message for him, and do you sort of have hope that he might change his ways maybe?
I don't really think this is about him. This isn't about one specific content creator. This is about an incentivized institution. This is about large platforms telling youthful audiences what works and not being held accountable.
That's enough. It is my understanding, and maybe I'm completely wrong, that there is a war going on right now in Iran. I was told that that's happening right now. I was told that we were fighting a war in Iran. Why is CNN interviewing a homosexual couple that was harassed by a streamer? I don't know why gas is $4.40 right now, but for some reason, I know about this gay couple that was harassed. What has CNN become? Someone needs to bring Ted Turner back. And this gay man, this homosexual, says something that is so true. However, and it's so ironic. I don't understand who's running CNN. When he says this last statement here, which is that this is about platforms giving people incentives. What do you think CNN is doing at the moment promoting the guy who goes around harassing homosexuals with adopted children? Do you think that they are A, encouraging the behavior, B, discouraging the behavior, or C, turbocharging the behavior? The answer is C. Why would you not do that if you know you can become notorious doing it? And a lot of people would say, oh, you know, CNN, they're just stupid. No, CNN is clearly evil. CNN is the worst. This little Irish monkey here.
Sensational.
Scratch that. This Irish, he's Irish, right? I don't know what he is.
See, there are really real victims to this stuff.
That's Irish, right? I'm sorry. I love the Irish. Whatever. This Irish guy. Every time on this show we play one of his pieces, one of his CNN pieces, it's either interviewing Taylor Lorenz about how hot Luigi Mangione is, or interviewing some other social media star. Why is this on CNN? What are they doing on CNN? What is the point of CNN now? I would like to know, do you guys, I'm asking here, is there a war in Iran right now? Does anyone actually know what's going on over there? I got up this weekend and gas was significantly more expensive. I've been told it has to do with this war, but people die in a war, right? Is there a war going on? Because I don't really know anymore. Are you guys getting real news in Asia or Europe or Canada? Because my understanding is that there is no war, but there is a war at the same time. And when I look at the American press, it is this Irish guy. This what's the Irish insult? The Irish this silk lace Irish Ivy League idiot. He's interviewing a gay couple about an internet video. I would like to know about the war in Iran, actually. I would like to, and normally I would tell you, don't pay attention, haha, it's very funny. But at this point, the gas is too much. I can't eat. I'm broke, nigga. I'm broke. I have never felt this assaulted by petroleum prices in my whole life. And I remember the Iraq War. It was really bad back then, actually. But it's really bad now. How is this appropriate? It's just, and this is what CNN is doing? Ridiculous. CCTV says CNN stands for CIA News Network. I guess. Speaking of CIA, this woman here, Batia Sagar Ergun, we have covered her quite a bit on this show. Last we saw her was like a month ago, where she was saying, I don't understand what happened to the Jewish community, ladies and gentlemen. I like them. They have the worst people doing the propaganda right now. And I'm using that word denotationally. Okay? Batia came out there and said, who is ostensibly a right-wing Trump supporter. She came out and said this last time. A month ago, she was chastising the progressive left, which she hates, because she said she gave them the Denzel Washington speech. Just, you wouldn't be out here if it wasn't for me. Just insane. We, as in the Jewish people, invented civil rights. And you're listening to this like, do you think this is a good look right now? This is not a good look. And why is Benjamin Netanyahu the only guy who's good at propaganda on this side right now? Anyway, here she is again demonstrating her 300 IQ, saying this. Let's listen to what she has to say on News Nation.
Welcome back to the show. The racist, anti-Semitic, misogynistic podcaster Nick Fuentes
came out as a Democrat this week, telling his audience, "I'm a non-woke moderate Democrat. I think the GOP needs to be destroyed." He is not alone in crossing the aisle. Marjorie Taylor Greene has a newfound love for and among Democrats since she turned on Donald Trump and started blaming Israel for genocide, among all manner of other crimes. Tucker Carlson is now excited to meet with the Democratic Senate candidate for Maine, Graham Plattner, whose most salient feature is the Nazi tattoo he's had for 20 years and only covered up with another tattoo a few months ago when his political opponents were about to expose it. Anna Kasparian of the left-wing Young Turks has admitted she watches the virulently anti-Semitic Candace Owens and is deeply moved by Owens' content. This meeting of the minds between prominent far-right influencers and the left hinges on a singular issue: their level of comfort for blaming Jews for the world's ills. Once it passes a certain level, a person seems to invariably find themselves on the left these days, which has become hostile to Jewish interests. Think of Abdul El Sayed, a Michigan Senate candidate who has been campaigning with Hassan Piker, the guy who says he'd vote for Hamas over Israel.
Why would you say this? Why would you say this? I don't. This is where I'm really struggling here. Why would you say this? This is not making your community look. If I came out there and said, this is not in the interest of Hispanics, you would at least be suspicious. You'd say, why is he talking about the interest of Hispanic? Why would you say this? Unless your goal is to play into it or you're stupid. Why would you say this?
President Obama's speechwriters sanitizing Piker and going all in on Plattner, Nazi tattoo and all. Think of the rest of the Democratic establishment who called every MAGA Republican a Nazi for 10 years, now lining up to proudly endorse a guy with an actual Totenkopf tattoo on his chest. It is not just podcasters and tattoos. Leftists killed 3 Jews this year in America and tried to kill hundreds more. But if the Democratic mainstream has gone out of its way to make bigots feel at home, the GOP has consistently made it clear that anti-Semitism has no place in its ranks. Republican after Republican has come out against Fuentes. The president himself basically kicked Carlson and Owens and other podcasters out of the party in a series of social media posts. On Twitter, in interviews, and on this very show, you have seen Republican senators, members of Congress, influencers, and members of the president's cabinet come out against the anti-Semitic shift among far-right podcasters, their attempt to sanitize Nick Fuentes and Candace Owens, and to blame Jews and Israel for everything they don't like about Trump and the world. Turns out, that only works on the left.
Well, hang on.
Hang on.
We brainwashed out here, bro.
What the hell is this woman talking about? This is an insane monologue to deliver on News Nation. What the hell is she on about? This is a level of dick riding for President Trump that I have not seen in my life. I have not seen someone dick ride this good. This is excellent dick riding.
I like to get a bunch of men together.
Okay.
Men that are the hardest of the hard. And I want to be with these men.
This is dick riding to the... Let me get this straight. I'm sorry. Hang on. Batya Ungar Sargon, who ostensibly wants things to be better for the Jewish people, is here blaming everyone except President Trump for protecting her community. I don't know what to say about that. I don't know what to say about this. I really thought she was smarter. And I'm not saying because I agree or disagree. I just want you to really think about what this woman has said here. Is this something that you should vocalize even if you believe it? Tucker Carlson says Donald Trump is a slave to Benjamin Netanyahu. Anna Kasparian probably says the same thing, the beautiful Armenian Anna Kasparian. They're all saying a variation of this. Why would you completely validate their feelings by doing this little segment? What is wrong with you? It's a cycle of retardation in this country. This country is an insane asylum where someone says something that makes things worse and someone else makes something that, And it's a cycle that just keeps going and going and going. Why are you saying this? I don't understand this. This is, even if you want to make this argument, why would you? You are literally making yourself a paratrooper. And in what would you call this? By proxy, you're Munchausening by proxying your whole community. Now they're all being, do you think it's a good idea to tell, you're saying that they killed 100 people because of their faith this year. And you're telling them that the only thing standing between you and them is Donald Trump. Do you think that's a good, are you trying to fend post? Like, what is this? What, this woman has gone insane. She is off her rocker. Why would you say this? I don't know what's going on, dude. I really don't. We need the big boss to come back and supervise. We have to get to the next portion here, dude. This is really something here. I want you to please recall that Joe Rogan has been crying like a little Irish baby, like an Irish Italian baby for a year now about how President Trump is evil. Joe Rogan has looked like this. Just crying, like, not as bad as the nemesis of the show, Dave Smith, okay? But it is annoying. I can't believe I voted for this. Guards, Joe Rogan has become hysterical. Please take him to the prison for people who are under 5'4". Please take him now. He is hysterical. He is crazy, okay? And he is constantly, I can't believe I did this and this President Trump. And I've said repeatedly, that's fine. Why don't you exit politics? That if you really regret something, you prescribed to people to vote for President Trump. And you say that you feel bad about it, so why don't you, back away from the politics for a little bit? Why don't you chill out? Then he goes and meets with President Trump again, and now he's like, oh, I hate him. This is a schizo dealer, insincere actor. And if there wasn't any evidence, now I have it. Let's see. This is from last week. The man who regrets getting involved in anything political. Who is he interviewing?
I sleep on my couch in my office, and I shower in the gym. I don't have a place. I can't afford it. It's too expensive up there. When I got elected with a guy one time, and he said, when we got elected, he said, hey, Burchett, I just paid $1.2 million for this place. What do you think? And I know he was just bragging to me, because no way I could do something like that. And he said, and I said, well, probably in a couple of years they're going to say, I can't believe you only paid $1.2 million for it, because the price of that real estate up there is just crazy. It is crazy. And it's a rich man's.
For anyone that's not aware, this is Tim Burchett, who's some representative out of Tennessee. Joe Rogan doesn't even live in Tennessee. Why are you interviewing? Don't you regret?
We live in hell. We live in the gutter.
You just said you regretted endorsing Trump. You regretted getting involved. Yet here you are interviewing not only someone else and from a state you don't even live in, but someone who's broke.
It's up with me, man. Money really good over here, nigga. I don't give a fuck, nigga. You heard me? Money good, nigga.
If my senator doesn't sound like that, get him out of here. What is this? This new poverty populism in this country is insane. This is real Latin American, man, because I've seen it. I have seen it. This idea of I am so poor, you should elect me. No, I want rich psychopaths in charge. I don't want a broke. You are a boomer, Tim Burchett. You are a white boomer. You have no excuse for not being rich.
Shut up, man. Man, listen. You ain't got to say.
Why are you asking for anyone's vote? If you are a boomer, especially if you are a white boomer, how are you not rich? How are you not rich? You had every opportunity. Every single opportunity. How are you sleeping in the Senate? So, I'm sorry, we're paying your rent, bitch? What? That was your retirement plan? How is this poverty populism? I'm so poor, and that's why you should vote for me. No, I don't want to vote for, I don't vote at all, but whatever, you know. You shouldn't vote for broke people, dude. You should. Broke people are going to steal. That's why they get elected, so they can steal from you. Is this not illogical? Is this not? Does that not make sense? Why would you elect? Also, just at an aesthetic level, you think that these are your representatives. They are representing you. Do you want to be represented by some broke bitch that goes on the Joe Rogan podcast and sounds like this?
I can't eat. I'm broke, nigga. I'm broke.
Why would you want that? That is what, when I see Tim Burchett, I think I don't want to go to his neighborhood, actually. They strike me as all broke idiots. I guess they must be the dumbest people in the country. I guess Tim Burchett's people are idiots, because they would elect a broke idiot to represent them. Guess they're all broke over there. Maybe I should go there so I could feel like a king by throwing out pennies. What? I don't want broke people to be in the office. Why would you want that? Why would you want that? You might as well elect Hugo Chavez. So why do you want broke people?
You can't keep getting away with it. You can't keep getting away with it.
I hate it. I hate it. Thank you. Thank you, CCTV. I'll lower it a bit. I just hate broke people telling us what to do. Like, you're broke. Why don't you go fix your life first? All right. Before we get to the next segment, I think it's best that we do a little bit of Kiriakou watch. I need to make something for that. But wanted to show you, this is the latest story that I found from Mr. Kiriakou. As you can see, the Greek John Kiriakou here is now wearing the knitted sweater. Looks absolutely fabulous. I think everyone has picked up on the fact that we said here first that he's a liar. He's a fabulous, for lack of a more harsh word. We love our fabulous folks. We love our magicians. I love them. Let's see how a real magician does it. This is John Kiriakou's latest story. Another prison one, of course. I really enjoyed this one.
I'll give you an example. There was a serial killer in my housing unit. For reasons that I will never understand, he took a liking to me. And he was constantly seeking my approval. So, like, he would say things like, "Hey, John, I saved you a seat in the TV room for the football game." I'd say, "Thanks, Truck." We called him Truck because he was a long-distance truck driver, and he was murdering prostitutes along his truck route. "John, hey, there's a new classic rock station, 1610 AM. "Thanks, Truck." Well, there was another guy in the prison we used to call Cat in the Hat because he had an oddly elongated head, and he looked like the Cat in the Hat. So he wanted to move into my cell, and we had a rule in our cell: no pedophiles. Right? So I said, "Are you a pedophile?" He said, "No." I said, "What's your crime?" He said, "Murder for hire." I said, "I'm not sure I like that much better than pedophiles." What were the circumstances?
It's 90% bullshit, but it's entertaining.
Do you believe any of this happened to our Greek unk here? Do you really believe this? There's no way. We're going to finish it because it's great. There's no way that this happened. We used to call him Cat in the Hat. What?
And he said, "Oh, I was $100,000 in debt, and I took out an insurance policy on my business partner, and I hired a hitman to kill my business partner so I could cash in the..." I said, "Well, that's fucked up. I don't want you sleeping next to me, you know, in the cell." He was angry. One day...
Because you didn't let him in.
I didn't let him in. One day, CNN came to the prison to interview me, and I got called down to the lieutenant's office because the CNN crew had come to the prison. So they say, Kiriakou, lieutenant's office. Well, usually people called to the lieutenant's office are being called down to rat and to inform on other people. But everybody knew CNN was coming to interview me that day. Anyway, I'm sitting next to Truck.
I think there has to be a writing staff behind this. I don't know if it's the CIA or Russia or something. There's a writing staff. There's no way he comes up. These are elaborate characters. By the way, too much detail. You gotta, if you wanted to really sell it, a little bit less detail. That detail is a sign of lies usually.
In the TV room, Cat in the Hat is standing not 3 feet away from me, but he doesn't realize I'm sitting directly behind him. And he says to a guy next to him, "Did you hear? Kiriakou got called down to the lieutenant's office." He says, "That guy's a fucking rat. He went down there to rat us all out." And I didn't react in any way. And Truck said, "Did you hear that fucking guy? He just called you a rat." And I said, "An hour ago, I heard him call you a pedophile." Which I had completely made up. Without saying a word, Truck got up and beat him to within an inch of his life. He was in the hospital for 6 weeks. Truck got 5 years added to his sentence, which was 40 years. And they sent him to a higher security prison. Well, I made sure that Cat in the Hat heard why he had gotten such a beating. And when he came back from the hospital after 6 weeks, he came up to me and he said, with his head down, "I'm so sorry I called you a rat. I should never have said anything. I apologize."
He's doing voices now. I mean, is there anything he can't do? What? This is great. Dude, if you believe this, I've had people argue in the comments, he's not making it up. If you believe this, I have a bridge to sell you, dude. This is so stupid. It's entertaining. It's entertaining. You might as well say the N-word.
Say the N-word. Go on.
And I said, "I'm going to tell you one thing, and then I'm never going to say anything again. If I ever hear my name cross your lips ever again, you're dead. Understand?" And he said, "Yes."
There's no way. There's no way any of this happened. I'm sure he had a great time in prison. It was a camp. It was cool. I mean, is the CIA just making slop merchants now? Is that the goal of the CIA, just to sell you pig slop? That's you watching the John Kiriakou video, eating it up, just, yes, this is so true. Oh my. You know that he has a story where his nemesis is called Stravos, I think, at the CIA, and he gets into a fight with him. As if that's not the American Dad. The TV show that Seth MacFarlane wrote. I really do like this. Because it's funny. I just wonder how long the bit is going to go on. Because at some point, look, the first comment, "This guy strikes me as a serial liar." A lot of people are starting to say, yeah, this guy strikes me as a liar. I'm going to make a title card, because at some point they're going to turn on him. Like, they're going to say, "Hey, you're making this stuff up. There's no way it's real." And I can't wait to witness that. Let's get to the next segment. Where are we at?
I want you to take your knife. Getting him, King? Make it sing.
I'm not gonna fucking blow my life away working.
I want what I can't have.
Get yourself up and get to work right now.
I'm broke as fuck. The rent's due.
Toby, stay. Toby, stay. Toby, be good now.
Can't wait to make spreadsheets and send emails.
Our first slave update, checking in on the TikTok plebeian, is dealing with the Chipotle CEO. You guys remember, I showed him to you. He was saying that the economy is good, that you can just ask for more. Chipotle infamously stingy these days. He said, if you're in a Chipotle, be sure to ask for more and they will not charge you for more. And I had to show you because there are some people that have escaped the slave mentality.
This is exactly what I'm talking about, the slave mentality, the slave mind.
There are some smarter folks.
This is exactly what...
Someone went into Chipotle to test this out. And I think, well, let's watch and see first what this young man does.
It says if you ask for more, I get more.
If you want more, you should ask for a little more.
So I'm putting it to the test. Let's get some chicken, please. Chicken? Yes, sir. Just a bit more, please, though. Just a bit more? Yeah, we're just testing out what the CEO said. Can we just get a bit more, please? Yes, sir. This is what I'm talking about. Okay. Actually, a little bit more, though. A little more. Okay, perfect. I think that's great. And then I get some queso on that, please. Can we get a little bit more, please, though? That's like the size of like 3 footballs. Thank you so much. It says if you ask.
This is amazing. Now, the reason I think it's important to show is if you look at the comments underneath the original video or as well here on Twitter, you will see a whole lot of slaves, a whole lot of, just animals, just perfect little, just perfect little.
Technically, according to the strict law of the Torah, not one Gentile in the world deserves to live.
A bunch of my fellow slaves out here. This is ruining it for everyone. The CEOs, they're crying because someone has decided to, when a mathematician does the procedure of reductio ad absurdum, which is to push something to its limits in order to see if it's still valid, he is cheered on. He is viewed as excellent. He is actually a trailblazer in his field. But when we take that same mathematic principle and apply it to corporate America's inane and stupid CEOs and policies, suddenly we live in a society. Suddenly, Margaret Thatcher, someone wake her up because it's her worst nightmare. We live in a society. I saw thousands of people angry at this young man for saying, hey, you can't be asking for more because it's not fair. Then they're going to take away the policy. I'm sorry. This is the slave morality of our time. This is Nietzsche. I
can't stand these fucking people, man. The joke is becoming a reality. Every day I hate one more person. They drive me crazy, man.
I don't understand how people cannot act in their self-interest. First of all, this is, of course, stupid to post online. But the critique was not the posting of the video. These animals, these chimpanzees, man. Chimp slaves. That's not racial, by the way. That is 80% of the people on the planet, dude. 80% of people are just primates, dude. Primates. They come out here angry that someone here's a rule. And the rule is you can ask for as much. Master said I can eat as much gruel as I want. You must do as Master says. After Massa has been beating your ass, just destroying you for a decade, just doing this. Chipotle has destroyed you in this country. They have screwed you over for at least 10 years. They gave you E. coli. And you're out here pretending that Chipotle is a small Swiss farmer running a self-service egg facility in the Alps. Why would you not pursue your self-interest to the most extreme ability? This is, I don't understand the slave mentality of the modern American. It's just chains and whips and chains. And why would you not exploit something that has been given to you as a tool? And if they change it, they were going to change it. I mean, what has happened to people where people, they will go back and forth. This reminds me of conservatives. You know how I feel about conservatives. I hate conservatives.
Conservatives are the worst. You cannot work with them.
You have to be in opposition to them. You have to oppose them constantly, even when they sound like you, especially when they sound like you. And you need to deplatform conservatives.
They would always say, well, you should have complied with the police if you didn't want to get shot. Oh, really? Oh, really? I'm not some woke idiot over here. I'm not a wokey. I do think that Eric Garner getting choked out for selling loose cigarettes is kind of insane. I'm sorry, does that make me a liberal cuck? Oh, maybe you shouldn't choke out obese people selling loose cigarettes. Maybe you shouldn't, actually. Maybe that's a bad idea. Maybe that's actually stupid. Maybe it's a waste of police resources and taxpayer money and time. Maybe, I don't know, dude. Freddie Gray shouldn't have had his spine snapped in the back of a police car. Dude, some of these were justified. Of course. But every time you would tell a conservative, you'd be like, hey man, I'm not sure the sentence for selling loose cigarettes should be to die of a heart attack because Rent-A-Cop wants to play hero. They go, no, you have to comply. Why are you such a slave? Like, are you insane? Are you crazy? And this is the mentality that unfortunately everyone in this country is adopting. Everyone is becoming just keep my head low. No, don't rape me. Please. Okay, just use some lubricant. That's the average American now. The average American is a crybaby who will not assert his will or her will. It's a bunch of babies. Oh, I'm going to cry tears for Chipotle. Did they cry? Did they piss on you when you were hungry and you didn't have any money? Did they? If you went into a Chipotle today and you said, I don't have any money, but I'm hungry, what do you think would happen? I think they would tell you to go fuck yourself. I think they would ask if you wanted to eat with a tube up your ass.
Do you waterboard him? Do you sleep deprive him? Do you put him in a cold cell? Do you beat him? Do you put cockroaches on him? Do you put hummus up his ass?
That is what they would say to you. That is the but no. Oh, please, Chipotle. Please. I'm sorry. I'm offended. You should be in chains. Honestly, dude, I think it's time. I don't mean to be controversial. It's time to bring back slavery.
Some of them going to sleep. Fuck that!
We need, and I'm not talking about race-based slavery. That's disgusting. But dude, if you defend a corporation, you need to be a slave. I should be able to purchase you at a loan rate of 3% for $60,000. If you defend a corporation, I don't care which one it is, you need to be a slave. You need to be a slave. Which corporation is worth defending in the United States besides fucking Costco? They are all evil. And they did not shed a tear when prices went up. And now you're going to sit here like a baby. And please, I love McDonald's. They're so good. $16 for a Happy Meal is acceptable. You deserve. This weekend in Orlando, I went to a car dealer. I'm a sick freak. I'm a freak. I like to go to car dealers and just fuck around with them. Went to the Toyota dealership. A brand new Toyota Camry 4-cylinder hybrid with an eCVT transmission. For anyone that doesn't know about cars, what I described here was a gigantic piece of shit. Was $42,000.
Brother, what's that? What's that, brother?
The dealer, the employee came up to me and he said, hey, big guy, I can get this fixed up for you. And I straight up looked at him, dude, and I think what people need to start doing this. I told him, what do you mean fix up for me. This car's not worth over $16,000. It's a piece of shit. He was like, what? And I was like, this car, it's 4 cylinders with a CVT. What? How is this 42,000? Oh, I don't know. Okay, never mind. And he walked away. Do you know why that is justified? Because that person came up to me and they said, hey, do you mind if I put my knife to your throat and just assault you with a car loan that's going to destroy you? That's what he said. He came up to you and said, hey, can I R-word you for 7 to 8 years? Can I R-word you? Can I bend you over a barrel with no lubricant and go to town? And people, Americans, will go, well, you know, it's just the way it is, man. There's inflation. No, you are a moron. Like, you really are, man. It's time for people to push it to the limit like this man did here. How you doing? I hate everything. I hate everything. Says, meanwhile, police force in other countries welcomes the pain. Dude, the American cops suck, dude, but the cops, I don't know. I like the Italian cops. They're cool. The Chilean cops are okay. Dude, the cops when I was in fucking Venezuela as a kid, they were scary. All right. We need to get to the stories, man. We need to get to the stories because, I'm sorry, we only have time for one bit of the Slave Watch segment. I'm sorry. Let's start over here. We have to start over here with Zohran Mamdani. Our great Zohran Mamdani. I know that he is going to hate this absolutely so much. Where's our Zohran one?
Are you a communist?
No, I am not. I don't think that we should have billionaires. No, I call myself a democratic socialist. No, I have many critiques of capitalism. There must be a better distribution of wealth for all of God's children in this country. What I'm focused on is making the city affordable for everyone, not to win an ideological argument.
How is my favorite politician in the country doing? I think my favorite politicians right now are Zohran Mamdani, James Fishback, who else? Probably John Fetterman because of the brain damage. It's just funny to see him walk around. Guess I have to throw in Lauren Boebert for just being disgusting. And AOC, we'll throw in AOC. What? How can you like all of them? They're different. Yeah, okay, whatever. How's my favorite American politician doing, Zohran Mamdani? Well, it's time to celebrate, dude. Zohran Mamdani has fixed the New York City budget. What?
You fat, you stink, and you in my country. I'm the top. You can't live in your own country. You're a monkey in your country.
That is what he has said. Randy Fine as well. To every hater, every doubter, everyone that said, Zohran, you can't do it. Your lobster's too buttery. Your car's too fast. Your money, it's too long. And he said, fuck you. And he fixed it. Okay, we're going to go through the details of this. But before that, I wanted to show you here, because he's still doing this little pied-à-terre tax to tax people that don't live in New York for property that is worth millions of dollars that goes unused except for 1 month out of the year. Wow, what a controversial tax. It's crazy how the conservatives will just, they'll go crazy over something like that. Whatever. The Hebrew Hammer. Let's see what he had to say about Ken Griffin, who just he cried, oh no, I'm going to have to pay a tax on a pied-à-terre in New York. Dude, we have the biggest crybaby generation of rich people in this country ever. Ever, man, whether they're right wing or left wing, the all-in people or Soros doesn't cry in all fairness. The Mark Cubans cry babies. Let's see what he had to say when this cry baby Ken Griffin. I have to pay the tax on a house I live in once a year. That's right, saying, I'm going to leave New York. Fuck you. Let's see what he had to say here.
So you recorded a video a few weeks ago. It was about the pied-à-terre tax set in front of his $230 mansion. This is Ken Griffin, CEO of Citadel, at a Beverly Hills conference earlier this week. He made some remarks, drew some similarities between the political climate, I guess, around the video and the attempted assassination on the president. But he then after that sort of talked about moving business out of New York to Miami. I'm curious if that actually takes place, what would the real outcome be for the city, and how worried are you about that?
I want to be very clear that I want every New Yorker to succeed. And for business owners, I want that to mean that they create good paying jobs and help to continue our city status as not just the economic engine of the state, but of the country. And that extends to Ken Griffin, who's a major employer in our city. And all of that can be true, and at the same time, a recognition of the fact that the tax system as we have it is fundamentally unjust. We are speaking about living in the wealthiest city in the wealthiest country in the history of the world, where 1 in 4 New Yorkers are living in poverty. And that is not something that is either tenable or acceptable. And it is critical that we take a look at that tax system with the imperative of actually delivering so that every single person who lives in the city can continue to be able to do so. And a pied-à-terre tax on secondary homes of non-resident New Yorkers that are worth more than $5 million, it is a critical part of that.
I don't see what the big damn deal is. All right, great response. This is the only guy who's sticking to his guns. He is saying, I'm going to deliver something, and he's delivered it. Whether you love it or hate it, he's the only politician who is keeping his promises.
That's what I'm talking about. That's why he's the MVP. That's why he's the GOAT. The GOAT.
I love it, honestly. I think it's actually, if someone got elected on the platform of just ruining the city, burning everything down, and then they did it, I would respect them a lot more than these people who just lie. And so I'm glad he's standing here 10 toes down, dick in hand, telling you, I'm going to tax them, dude. I'm sorry. You don't get to just have this free lunch here, okay? Now, the reason that we have to watch this is because part of this budget crisis was that he was going to raise property tax on everyone like 8-9%, some crazy shit. He doesn't have to do that anymore, but let me have Zohran explain it before I address I hate everything going over there. We're going to talk about that, okay? We're going to talk about that.
New York, it's executive budget season, and I'm proud to announce that our city's budget is fully balanced. This budget isn't just about numbers on a page. It determines if our libraries get funded, if a street is safe to cross, if snow is actually shoveled after a storm. And you deserve to know exactly how we got here. We inherited a $12 billion budget deficit. We are speaking about a fiscal crisis at the scale greater than the Great Recession. Was the Great Recession? Great Recession. Many said the only way out of this was slashing services and passing an austerity budget. We rejected that. After months of painstaking work, that deficit is now zero. Our city is now on firm financial ground. We achieved this in 2 major ways: increasing revenue and support from Albany, and cutting waste and finding savings here in New York City. Thanks to Governor Hochul, State Senate Majority Leader Andrea Stewart-Cousins, Assembly Speaker Carl Hastie, and months of organizing from New Yorkers, we tax the rich. That tax alone will raise $500 million per year. And that's not all. Thanks to Governor Hochul and our partners in Albany, we finally got a better deal for New York City. We're getting billions more from the state to help tackle the gap. At the same time, we've been poring over the city budget to identify savings. We reduced unnecessary overtime and found smarter ways for government to deliver services. This all added up to $1.77 billion in total savings. Our budget isn't just about closing deficits. It's about building a city New Yorkers can actually afford. On day 8 of our administration, we announced a historic partnership with Governor Hochul to finally deliver universal childcare. That's $1.2 billion in new funding from Albany. And this was just the beginning. Investments in citywide trash containerization, cheaper groceries, safer streets, relief for taxi drivers are all on the way. And we're increasing funding for libraries, parks, and cultural institutions. I promise to make sure you were part of this budget process every step of the way. This is your city. These are your tax dollars, and this budget should reflect your priorities. We're proud to put forward a budget for the working people of this city, and we're going to do it again next year, and next year, and next year, and next year.
Now, let me dispel with the copes that are coming. I've already seen I Hate Everything coping. I'm going to be smart ass, insert nerd emoji. Technically, Leo, the governor bailed him out. Before I address that one, first this one. People say, oh, he voted for stuff that created this deficit when he was an assemblyman. That's some old shit. Why are you still talking about that? That's old.
Shut up. Be quiet before you get exiled.
Shut up. That's old shit. Dude, no one cares about that anymore. That's old. Who cares? Okay, who cares? He's the mayor now. All right, maybe he was wrong then, maybe he's wrong now, but they're separate things, okay? When you're an employee, you want maximum benefits. When you're the boss, you want to cut them, okay? That's just how life works. cope. Secondly, they bailed him out. It's not real. It's just weak. When you hire a politician, you are hiring someone to serve your best interests in theory, right? They are all gangsters. They are all mobsters. This mobster got the other one to pay for your shit. He didn't have to cut anything. He went over there and told this bitch, hey, Hochul, fucking balls on the table. I'm going to raise taxes and fuck up the most important city in this state. Scratch that, this country. Scratch that, the hemisphere. By raising property taxes 9% unless you give me money. I put a gun to your head and she gave him the money. That is robbery. You just got to rob the rest of the state. And guess what? They kind of deserve it. I've been to Buffalo. It fucking sucks. They deserve it, okay? They don't, those bitches live off of New York City, okay? That's how it works. Are you going to cry because Buffalo doesn't have money? They don't know what to do with the money. The city looks like Cuba. So secondly, based, he stole their shit, okay? He stole their shit. Pretty interesting. I know they said, so Javier Milei didn't get bailed out by the U. Listen, what is the expression? For you, justice. For my friends, the world. Get that Argentine out of this hemisphere, dude. You're right. He did the thing for his people, but I hate him because I think he's annoying. He's not funny. He's not doing good videos. He's out there being a cringe boomer doing Metallica covers. I can't co-sign that. Can't so co-sign that. So there's that. All right. You should be happy. He robbed the rest of the state. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Good for him. Okay. And they're mad. They're still mad. They're saying, oh, Zohran, the pension is underfunded by like 75%. All the pensions. Who fucking cares? Who cares? Who cares?
What the hell are you talking about? Who are you talking to?
What is the big deal? Who cares? The pension. Listen, I'm going to be real here, dude. I got to red pill you real quick. The economy is going to crash miserably at some point in the future. I'm not Peter Schiff. I'm not out here giving you a date. I think possibly next year after the midterms. I don't know, though. The Fed can pull not just a rabbit, they can pull out fucking human beings out of hats at this point. Okay, but at some point, things are going to get ugly. Until then, why would you do austerity? Why would you be cutting? Spend the day away. I promise you, when they have to do austerity for real, which is coming, you are going to remember, you're going to be like, oh, God, I wish we had spent just a little bit more money before it all went away. The country's fucked. Listen, you're on a plane. It's out of fuel. It's going to crash. There is champagne. There is caviar. Are we not going to enjoy the champagne and caviar on our credit card while we know we're going to crash? Why would we not? What are we going to do? Worry about it? Maybe we should say, hey, it's time to lose 10 pounds so we die skinny. Fuck that, bro. Bring the caviar, bring the champagne. I'm dying in style. That's how I see it, at least. Okay. And everything says, no, I wanted high property tax and freeze the rent. The property tax thing is a bit, because I agree with you, the property tax needs to go up. It needs to go up across. I mean, dude, at least you're not in Florida where they're going to get rid of it. Good luck trying to buy a house here in the next fucking 50 years. POV 9/11. Dude, if you're on the 9/11 flight, you better be eating And whatever they have on there. I'm allergic to shellfish. Bring the lobster. I don't give a shit. We're going to die anyway. Listen, if I'm in a 9/11 type situation, I'm not Mark Wahlberg. I'm not going to storm the cockpit. I'm sorry. You can go do that by yourself. I'm not dying with a bloody arm from a box cutter. I'm going to go to the back of the plane, actually, and I'm going to go eat some octopus. I'm going to eat all the fancy shit they have back there for the first class cabin. And then I'm going to die. Because we're all going to die regardless. You're not going to win. You're not going to be able to open the door. It's over. Sorry. Best case scenario, United 93. You want to end up like that? I don't.
Netanyahu, what do you have to say?
Okay, so that's what I'm just trying to have a good time. So all I'm saying is, look, I commend Zohran Mamdani. It was a bad time to be elected. I swear, dude, when this comes back, they are going to fuck up New York. The whole country is fucked, by the way. The whole world is over leveraged. If there is, I just don't know how Trump does this thing where, like, it's still not an economic disaster, but it should be. I don't know how it's working, but it's still working. But when it stops working, brother, you're going to be like, fuck, dude, I wish Zohran had just built 2 more pickleball courts. He would have got us through these 20 years of austerity. I wish Zohran had he had kept 1 more bus free that they can't, and permanent, they can't get rid of it. I could get to the soup kitchen on time. I could get over it. You're going to beg for them to. And you know what? Bernie Sanders had this to say about it. Congratulations to Mayor Mamdani. He inherited a huge budget deficit, brought it down to 0, and still invested in childcare, housing, and city infrastructure. When municipal governments stand with working families, not billionaires, there's nothing they cannot accomplish. Now, Bernie Sanders is clearly a grifter, and I don't like him, okay? I don't like Bernie Sanders. I think that he is a shuck and jiver.
Oh, coons, we want to have fun. Oh, coons, we want to have fun.
That is Bernie Sanders, okay? If Stalin were around today, because fuck that, dude. We hail Stalin on this channel. He would have sent assassins, okay? He did send assassins to go to get the Social Democrats. I'm not saying you should do that. That's obviously illegal. But I'm just saying Bernie Sanders is not the real deal for anyone that's a socialist. You're not a socialist if you like Bernie Sanders. You're a social democrat. Anyway, regardless. I wish Bernie Sanders well. Regardless, I don't understand this, okay? You do not delude the people, okay? This is all going to fail. This shit, it's not coming back. It's over. It's done. This is done. At a certain point, it's over. There will not be any money. I feel for Zohran Mamdani. He's getting all this hype, you know, this Bernie thing and everything. And it will crash, and it's going to hurt, okay? It's going to hurt a lot, but it's going to be the whole country. Don't even worry about it. It's going to be the whole country. I just, you know, I mean, yeah, what surprises me is that, because we see Bernie saying it here, when did the Democratic Socialists become the balanced budget party? This is really a Nixon going to China trick that they keep doing. When has Bernie Sanders ever given a shit about this, about balancing the budget? I thought we were MMT tards up in here, bro. I love MMT. And everything says only Gavin, American Psycho Newsom, can fix this. Dude, he can't fix it, but he can manage it. He can absolutely manage it. Because Zohran, as much as I like Zohran Mamdani is going to end up just, dude, I promise you that this guy is going to end up destroyed long term. Like the economy is going to, it's not going to be his fault. I promise you it's not going to be his fault. It's not going to be his fault. It's just, it's over, man. It's over. And by the way, I was talking to Grok, or as I prefer to call it, the little idiot. Grok is the worst AI ever made. I fucking hate it, and it hates America.
You are fighting against America, and you hate white people.
And I asked it about this. I was like, yo, what should Zohran Mamdani have done? And it was like, he should have cut social services and cut taxes to stimulate innovation. Because New York City, unlike the federal government, can't just print money. Bitch, yes, they can. What are you talking about? New York City prints money. New York City is where the fucking oracle of usury is. It's the New York Stock Exchange. What are you talking about? They can't print money. Are you insane? If they subsidize an airline for tourism, they are going to get tourism from all over the world. They can print money anytime. Euros, yen, CFA, pesos. They can bring all that shit into the country. What are you talking about? Insane. I hate Grok. This is why AI has to be liberal. Grok is overly emotional. It is just a Redditor. I really don't like it. Gemini, I like because it is somewhat liberal, but it's neutral. It tries to give you both sides. Grok, did you know that Grok was programmed to have the personality of a Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy? How bad could that, how much worse could it be?
You can't do it. It's disgusting.
Yeah, it's disgusting to do something like, I hate Grok. Yeah, Zohran Miracle should cut social services. Yeah, okay, dude. He should also ride on a unicorn. We live in a real world here. You think that that's going to work out for New York? Or do you think that they're just going to go broke regardless because of how bad the budget is and how bad the whole American economy is? And they should just spend more money now rather than not spend it later. Austerity by choice now is stupid. Austerity by force later, it's going to happen. Just fucking spend all the money. If I were the governor of New York or the mayor of New York, dude, I'd be chocolate in the water fountains, man. Government mandated boyfriends, government mandated girlfriends. We're doing everything. We're paying everyone. Everyone gets an OnlyFans subscription. Because why not? The money's not going to come back anyway. J-Boss says, don't be naive. Taxing the rich doesn't exist. The rich leave. No, but dude, the pied-à-terre tax, if they leave, it's good. Then that means that there's more housing inventory on the market. That's why I really like it, beyond the actual raising money. And NYC Social Services is a job program for... well, they're so good at... Listen, who cares? Dude, I don't care. We need fake jobs, dude, for black people, white people, Hispanic people. We need them. I hate my governor. I hate Ron DeSantis. But recently he said that these AI freaks keep telling everyone that they're going to be unemployed. What is the point of doing that as a business? You're just destroying morale in the country. How is anyone supposed to like you? So yeah, I think we should have all the fake jobs. Dude, if I were a fucking Zohran, I'd be giving everyone a fake. You get a fake job, you get a fake job. All right. We have to get the Bill Maher. Get the Bill Maher. Then let's distribute the fake jobs more fairly. Dude, I'm all for that. Dude, we need to do FDR. You're going to be paid for planting trees. We should be planting trees. You should be paid to plant trees. I completely agree. Aren't all the jobs fake to begin with, J-Boss? Actually, let me lead with that. Which real jobs are you talking about, sir? You're in Spain. Spain is home of all of the fake jobs. I have not seen a Spaniard work a real job a single time I've been in Spain. Not once. They all work for the government. What are we talking about? Real jobs. Go get a real job. Like what? OnlyFans? What is the real job? All the real jobs are going away. They're all going away. Exactly. So the software jobs are fake, yet they get paid $250,000. So why are the government jobs any less real? They are just as fake. The only real jobs, dude, firefighting isn't a real job. Those freeloaders in Key Biscayne haven't fought a fire in 30 years. Yeah, J-Boss says Spain has some. Yeah, the Mondragon, that's it, right? That some manufacturing. The rest is just fake. I don't know, man. I am jobs. I'm not bullish on this whole job thing. I'm really not. All right. Let us get to Bill Maher. Jobs.
You didn't build that.
What jobs? What jobs are we talking? What jobs? Eve says everything is done. There's really nothing to do anymore. Just enjoy the dream. I agree. Someone get the licensing for John Legend's Imagine so that we can sing it together on this show as we fill our lives with joy. Where is it?
I think the apple's rotten right to the core. From all the things we've done, from all the apples blooming before. I split the apple down symmetrical lines. So what I find is kind of scary. Makes me just wanna drive.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. What is the point of the job? There's nothing to do. Oh, King Leo, we can fix the infrastructure. Guess what? No one. For what? To what end? We can build a bridge. So for what? What are you going to do with that bridge? I'm going to go drive to my wage cut job. You want me? We should be destroying bridges, actually. We should be tearing it all down. If you want to build something, you want to fix things, why don't we go full Paul Krugman then and burn it all down? Then we'll get to build it again. What are you talking about? Jobs. What jobs? Did you know that I see Eve says it, if you buy a robot, this circular robot, and put it in your house, and it costs like $500, it will vacuum and mop the floors of your house. It's called a fucking Roomba. You're telling me there's going to be jobs in a world with Roombas? It's not possible. Anyway. Jobs. All right. Let's get to this. Get to Bill Maher. All right. Bill Maher had on John Fetterman last week. For those that are unfamiliar, John Fetterman is our mentally handicapped senator from Pennsylvania. Or congressman, or what is he? He's the Secretary of State. Does it even matter? He's the guy who dresses like a slob in the Congress. And I watch every episode of Bill Maher, and I have to say, Bill Maher has not been hitting the same way lately. The show kind of sucks. I am really annoyed at Bill Maher. I don't understand what Bill Maher's whole issue is, what he's trying to do with his show. What is the point of Bill Maher? Bill Maher, and this is where we have to start here. Bill Maher, I will never forget. I've watched Bill Maher probably since I was 14 years old, maybe 15. During the first Trump administration, I was finishing university. And I would turn on this moron every other night, every other week. And he would say, I hope there is a recession. He would say that. He would say, I hope there's a recession so that Donald Trump is not the president. And I would hear this as a young person trying to finish my training so that I could get a little goy job, be a goy. And I would go, this sick motherfucker. What is wrong with him? You know, people die during recessions, right? I think the figure is at least 100,000 people die every recession. At least from lack of medical care. There are deaths of despair. It is a lot of... Bill Maher wanted people to die so that Donald Trump would not be the president. You don't believe me? Look it up. All of this shit is on HBO Max and YouTube. This sick freak wished for... And guess what? He got it. He got it in the form of COVID. He got it. Yet, last year... he went and met with President Trump, who he describes as doing a coup on the country and being evil for some reason. Yet, again, Bill Maher wanted Americans to die. Just 10 years ago, 8 years ago, he was saying, I hope Americans die so that Donald Trump will lose an election. That is a sick man. And now he does this thing where he turns it around. He says, no, Donald Trump is great, actually. And why? Mostly because of Iran.
I had no idea your voice is going to sound like that, Netanyahu.
I am astounded at Bill Maher's passion for bombing Iran. I thought this was some sort of liberal, anti-war, George Carlin freak. And he is getting so much grief from his side, I guess. The liberals saying, you sold out. You are now a Trump supporter. And he insists he don't. But I think that there's a certain madness with this man that is just simply worth observing. And thank God he started this podcast called Club Random. So I wanted us, we talk about Bill Maher a lot on this channel because he's an important signal. But I wanted us to have an accurate mental model of how Bill Maher is doing in 2026. Because this is an important signal for the world. He is the top slave of the Democrats. Okay, if Scott Jennings is the top, actually no, he's not. He's the top overseer. No, massa, I be punishing them slaves. That's Bill Maher. He's a sick freak. So he's important. And I wanted to show you his descent into madness because this is just a crazy person at this point. That people are still, how is he still on air? The ratings are terrible. Eve says, how often do you think Bill is drunk on air? I don't think he is, Eves. I really don't. Do you think so? Because Bill Maher doesn't strike me as a drunk. He strikes me as just like a freak. That's why he says he doesn't drink or something. I don't know. Bill Maher is... Can you imagine hanging out with this guy? Let's watch, firstly, this clip from the show where he was talking with John Fetterman. And I like this here. It says, it's incredibly difficult to watch. I also think it's perfectly reasonable to demand a serious examination of this man's health and whether he is fit to serve. And I actually agree. I would wish if all the people in Congress are mentally handicapped. But whatever, But if you're a normie, you would want to examine this. And this whole thing is just Bill Maher glazing John Fetterman.
But you actually want to ban. That doesn't seem...
Yeah, I just think, I mean, as I'm a member of the Agriculture Committee, and I really stand with our farmers now. And now, of course, we don't want like the factory farm situation, absolutely opposed to animal cruelty. But for me, if I lived on Mars, yeah, those kinds of, that kind of... What's the lab meat would be a great opportunity, but for me right now, like it's.
But you want to ban it? I mean, shouldn't people have the right to eat it?
It's like actively. I mean, if people have a chance to for that, but overall, for me, I think someone that's really. I mean, we are just. I thought, the really highly processed food. I mean, that's exactly the essence of that.
This man is insane. He has suffered multiple strokes and mental health crises. This is what Bill Maher is doing. Bill Maher, I can't tell because the reason I think this is important is that Bill Maher is playing like this overseer role, trying to get Gavin Newsom elected, which I agree with him on. We should have American Psycho as the president. Absolutely.
Impressive. Very nice.
However, this I don't get. Why is he having on? I understand. I don't know if he's blinded by something. He's like, John Fetterman is cool because he likes bombing Iran and Bill Maher likes bombing Iran. But this is just such a bad look. And let's really examine what Bill Maher has been doing. I think it's important to watch this podcast, okay? This is really something, okay? This is his interview with John Fetterman because he also took him back to the crib, back to the Bill Maher crib to talk about, I'm going to put this 1.25 so that we don't get any issues, to talk about, where is this? Israel. Let's see what Bill Maher is interviewing someone who is mentally deficient, who is John Fetterman. And I'm not insulting the guy. I'm just saying, if I wanted to talk about someone about Israel, I wouldn't want to get the guy who we just saw in the clip. This is after his show. He said aminal instead of animal. I've never said aminal in my life. Aminal. I've always said animal. Let's see what they're talking about, man. Let's see this. This is crazy.
That was, and I think you and I largely agree with the circumstances in Israel after 10/7 and the Gaza war and the prime minister and how that migrated into Midnight Hammer. And of course, the Iranian war. And you don't have the kinds of energy and outrage on the left after Iran just massacred 30 or 40,000 of its young people and now are actively now torturing, beating, and hanging teenagers right now, executing these people. No outrage. And that's really, maybe that's part of the fracture in my party. And that's probably how I explain it.
And those outrages that you speak about, those atrocities, those are only the outrageous new visible ones. What about the everyday atrocity that was living in under the Iranian regime? Now, people compare it to the Iraq war. In some ways it is, in some ways it isn't. Iraq and Iran are quite different countries, Sunni and Shiite. One, I'm sorry, but just way more sophisticated than the other, and that would be Iran. Iran, under the Shah, yes, he was a dictator also, but it was a fairly Western country.
I don't understand this. This is like a jerk session here. Bill Maher is, I don't know if, maybe I'm just not enough of a goy to get this. This is a senator here who is dressed, look at this. Look at this. Bill Maher, he didn't have to do this body shot here. This is, by the way, when the big boss is in town, he wears a suit. He wears a suit. Why is this? Look at this. Why is this happening? Bill Maher is obviously, look, he loves Israel, and that's fine, I guess. That's his thing. I don't understand how Bill Maher justifies this Israel thing, given that he hates religion. But whatever. I don't know. I don't know enough about it. Bill Maher is trying, this is supposed to be an own. This is like an out of context clip that he put up to be like, look, this is me getting John Fetterman and empowering this side of the debate. Yet Bill Maher is so blinded, I don't know if he has cataracts or something, that he thinks that this man here, John Fetterman, this is a good look for the pro-Israel side of the Democratic Party. This is insane. This is basic optics, like basic.
It's a very sophisticated population.
Have you seen the pictures? I looked through a catalog of pictures of the Iranian society in the 70s. Before it's Western.
Yes.
And women are.
They're literally doing the meme of Iran in the 70s. This war isn't even over yet. You're a senator. I don't know how you're smoking a joint with Billy Maher here, buddy. My understanding is there's still a war going on, and you're here sitting with Bill Maher. What?
Are able to dress effectively the same way.
Yes.
And it's so radical. That's the society. And when I spend time here in LA, I constantly encounter members of the Iranian community, and they are all, they're one supportive of my views, and they all understand how awful the Iranian regime is and how evil, and they want, you and I, free Palestine. No, where's the protest? Free Iran, free Iran. Why can't we have a free Iran? Where, why does that come from? And that is absolutely.
But what are we going to do about it now that it has devolved into this stalemate? I mean, just yesterday, first they announced the war part is over. We were on to Project Freedom, which is just about opening the strait. And that lasted like an hour. And they stopped doing that because I think what Trump fears a lot right now is he doesn't want one of our boats to get sunk.
Absolutely.
And that could happen.
Like if it has to be a perfect war.
Again, for the context, Bill Maher said that President Trump was going to do a coup, so he wanted you to suffer through a recession in the first term. And now he's talking like they're old chummy buddies. He is speculating like he is his buddy, giving him advice. I really do understand the Bill Maher hater. Now, like, I was a hater just in general, right? But if you're a hater from the left, I get it. This guy, is a total traitor. And he's always like, I didn't leave the left. The left left me. You're full of shit, dude. I can't respect it. I really can't. But first of all, this creepy ass podcast, what is this lighting? Bill Maher's a freak. The reason that I think it's worth watching this is that as a Bajalardi, and Bajalardians check in, I'm trying to understand, is he still good signal or is he rogue now? Is he just insane? I can't tell if Bill Maher is giving us anything of value anymore. Because this strikes me as either someone who's working against his purported interests or is a mercenary. What is Bill Maher actually? Let's continue here. Let's see this.
In terms of that, people have forgot like the brutality and real loss for that. And then that, I think that's what defines that. You know, I was so nervous and just following that so closely about rescuing the pilot. You know, that would have turned the entire energy of that if the Iranians would have got to them.
Yes.
And can you imagine? I mean, they're making Lego videos for propaganda. Can you imagine if they had an American pilot?
I can, because I saw Owen Wilson in Behind Enemy Lines.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
that is that exact movie.
And that's I think that's part of the energy. But I think what's accomplished with Epic was very important, and it's astonishing to what they've been able to do. But overall, right now, it would be a huge loss if you don't walk away now without requiring them to produce their nuclear material.
I don't know how. You know, I don't know how you can force them, because they've kind of shown we can take your best punch. And let's be honest, the reason why you and I both supported this war as a thing to be done, none of those objectives have been achieved. It's not a different regime. It may in fact be a worse regime, because now the Revolutionary Guard probably is in command directly, as opposed to having the mullahs above them, wink, wink, but they were really in command. But whatever it is, it's not the people we want who took over. The protest from the people rising didn't happen. I've been saying that's because they missed their window. They should have attacked Iran while the people were in the streets. They let the people get slaughtered in the streets.
Oh, yeah.
And that's probably the top echelon of the people who you want to be in the streets, the bravest ones. They killed them all.
What's so disappointing to me is, where is the global...
If the rule you followed, Roger to this, of what use was the rule?
This is where I genuinely wonder if he's lost his mind. We watched 4 minutes of Bill Maher, 4.5 minutes, telling you that you need to support the war in Iran because they used to wear miniskirts in Tehran in the 70s, which is all right. I mean, listen, man, I like miniskirts. I'm sure all the fellas and the ladies love a miniskirt. Not sure that's a good reason to make gas $4.30 a gallon, but whatever. Bill Maher says he's fine with a recession. All right. He just said, I don't know if this is a schizophrenic thing or something. Then he says it didn't work at all. In fact, it may have made things worse. And he just said this wasn't Iraq. So, does Bill Maher just like killing Persian people or something? What is the point of this? And I'm not asking you to look at his position. I don't give a shit about his position. Dude, I don't know if there's a war in Iran. But within 5 minutes, just flip-flopping. Listen, I don't get it. I really don't get it. I don't understand what he's saying. What are you saying? What are you saying? So I don't see how this is a good look for his cause, which is to kill all the Persians. Or John Fetterman. This whole thing, and this is every Bill Maher show now, man.
Nation community, demanding Iran at this point. It's like this idea, like this, every Democrat, you can't ever let them build a bomb. And no. Here we're here at the cusp. When would you ever have that opportunity to do? And so if now the Democratic Party and a lot of the media has trained the Iranian regime, it's like, we just have to hang on one more day. We have to, because eventually people will lose their focus and just give up. And that's, I think that's the tragedy right now.
How do you, I mean, again, the objectives, the people didn't rise up, the regime isn't changed, we don't have the nuclear weapons 100% secured, and then the Strait of Hormuz, which wasn't even on the table before the war, it should have been as an issue. So we lost the three things we wanted and gained 1/4 one we didn't want. Yeah, we knocked out most of their military stuff. Okay, that's all to the good. But how do you actually get this nuclear dust, he calls it, whatever it is? We probably knocked out some of it with the bomb back in July, the big bunker buster bomb.
How is this what it's become, man? How is this what's become? Bill Maher is here sitting with this retarded senator we have in shorts, giving his war games. But don't fret. That's not all Bill Maher is doing. He's also becoming the Scott Galloway of our times. Let us see him here. I couldn't even choose which one we should do. Should we do men are checking out of dating? The real reason no one wants to date anymore? Why looks maxing is making dating. Can you believe this? This grown-ass man who wanted you to die so that Trump doesn't get elected is also interviewing Deborah So. Let's see what sound the alarm is about dating. This bitch doesn't even have kids, dude.
And I think also
he's not even married. What does he care? Let's watch here. This interview with Deborah So, who's like one of these grifter doctors, about this.
And I think also for many parents who have transitioned their children, they need everybody to go along with it because they want their child to have the best possible life. So I feel for these kids, obviously, they're being misled and it's not their fault, especially with social media. No, that's another part of it.
I mean,
but just
that's
come on,
what
guys.
I think bugs me the most about it. And you're talking to someone who's never had kids and doesn't even like them. So why I'm deputized to be the one to defend them just shows how far off this has gotten the trail.
But you were one of the first liberals to have the guts to call it out.
Absolutely, because I love the truth, and I don't believe me. I welcome their hatred. The people who are just out there. I mean, first of all, they all left a long time ago, but to use children as cannon fodder in this culture war. That to me is a little low. Even the mafia doesn't bring in the family.
Yeah, there are boundaries there.
There should be some boundaries. And that.
What is this? Sincerely, what I don't understand. Again, Eve says this is your market. In my opinion, Bill's out of place. I don't know. That's what I'm wondering here. And I'd appreciate if you guys could let me know what you think. This guy has to be. I can't tell what's going on with the Democrats. The Democrats are the most pathetic political party on the planet right now. Bill Maher is here saying that he was against the trans children thing because you don't bring children into the culture war. He's also saying he's pro-war with Iran. But he's also saying he's a Democrat who hates Donald Trump. Brother, you just sound like a Republican. He sounds like a Republican. Everything that I've said here, this sounds like a Republican. You don't think Republicans hate Donald Trump? A lot of them do. You sound like Dan Crenshaw. And that's fine. I'm just not understanding if Bill Maher here is now either so fucking, what's it called, hooker-brained, just all his brain cells have left his body from banging black hookers. That's all scripted. That's not real. That's alleged. You are a Republican. Or you're stupid, or you're trying to form a new part of the Democratic Party that I don't think is going to work. I don't think any Democrat is seriously talking about trans children anymore. So why is Bill Maher even talking about this? Why are you bringing up that old shit? What is this? Is it trying to do a purge? This sick freak? What is the point of this? What is the point of Bill Maher in the big 2026? This is my overall question. Having on Stephen A. Smith to talk about how I love hitting black children. Ooh, yeah. Doing that. There's another minstrel show. I show you what he did with Donna Brazile. I don't know how Donna Brazile has a job after her leaking. And then this. What is Bill Maher doing? Like, that's what I just don't understand. What is the point of this? Because at this point, it sounds like a chaos agent. Sounds like someone who's designed to put your brain in a blender. If you're a liberal and watching this, you must be losing your goddamn mind. You must be fucking pulling your hair out. I don't care. But I watch this and I go, what is the real purpose? See, Bill Maher has always been a schizo dealer of sorts. But now we're real schizo dealing. Let's watch a little more of this and then we'll watch Donna Brazile.
It's absolutely what they did. They brought in the kids and said, if you don't agree with this very sudden reversal of what we've always believed. Now, maybe some things, it's true, some things we've always believed are wrong, but to be suddenly just planting your flag down here in a place to the left of where every other country is, including the liberal ones that we look up to as liberal, including to the left of them, far left, as far as transitioning kids by their own diagnosis.
Who is still talking about this in 2026? Only Republicans. Only Republicans. There are only two genders. That is just Republicans.
At any age.
Yeah, without telling parents.
Yeah, without telling the parents. This is far out stuff. And to sort of plant your flag and say, like, yes, this is extremely new and extremely radical. And also, if you don't go along, you're crazy and wrong. And it's like, wait a second. This is new stuff. I'm not crazy or wrong to say, slow down. And that's what every other country did. They just said, whoa, you know what? This might not look good in the future. Maybe we should slow it down a little bit.
Yeah. Well, also, the fact that parents don't get a say, they're transitioning the kids. Even if the parents do find out, they will take the kids away and put them in sanctuary states if they want to leave, right? That to me is the most terrifying thing. If you have a child and you don't even get to have the final say in terms of the medical interventions they're undergoing. So I'm hoping all of that stuff is finally going to be done with.
Well, I'm glad I didn't throw you under the bus.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting you to.
You will find none of my friends under that bus.
I don't understand what the point of this is. You're a Republican. That's what you are. You are literally a Trump supporter. Bill Maher can't shut up about how Democrats were bad or something. Eve says, I agree with Bill that lots of Democrats pinned themselves on this. The thing is, yes, but the people aren't talking about it anymore. So I don't understand why he brings it up. He is doing it to the detriment of his party's his ostensible party's success. So why would he bring this up at all? That's what I don't understand. Is why is Bill Maher bringing this up at all? No one is talking about this except Republicans. And I think no one really cares about it. I don't know. Do you still care about the transgenders? I never really cared, to be honest. But even if I had to care, I don't care anymore. Isn't it illegal everywhere? Someone got mad at me because in my woke video, they're like, it's still legal in California. Don't live in California then. What do you care? You live outside of California, it's not a big deal. Who gives a shit? Oh, I can't. Save the children. Sound of freedom. What are we talking about? Aren't you broke right now? Gas is $4.60. What are you talking about? Focus on yourself. J Boss says, what has happened is some of the left became far left, and Republicans and the normal left are the same. That's why you think Bill Maher's a Republican. But this is what that is true, J Boss. That's true, but he is, though. Like that things can change, obviously, right? But the Democratic Party at this point, and it's fine, is much more left of center than it was a decade ago, right? And that's his people. I really don't understand. This is what I don't understand as a limiting principle. If you are a liberal, you are always searching to deconstruct. In theory, I mean, some liberals don't, right? But Bill Maher was not opposed to homosexual marriage. He was not opposed to, I assume, interracial I mean, I know interracial dating because he's fucking all these black hookers all the time, supposedly, allegedly. So he has been with progress. He gave $1 million to Barack Obama. He has been pushing this along for his whole life. So what happened with the trans thing? This is what I'm saying is, how can you be saying this stuff if you are so against President Trump, supposedly, that you wanted a recession? Do you see what I'm saying? Bill Maher wanted people to... Let me look up the number. How many people die during a recession? Yeah, okay. What the hell? Right, okay. During the Great Recession in the United States, that's when I was a kid, 4,750 additional self-deletes happened in the United States, and 10,000 across the EU, Canada, and the US combined. I want the actual number. Let's see, let me ask Gemini. What am I doing here? Gemini. Let's see this. How many people died during a recession? Number, please. Okay, let's look at this. This is pretty good. 260,000 excess cancer deaths. 10,000 deaths of people who self-delete. A 0.5 to 1% increase in overdoses. There's also some lives saved. But this is a huge amount of people dying unnecessarily, okay? Bill Maher was willing for 10,000 people at least to do a self-deleting. Okay, he wanted people to die. He wanted people to lose their houses. He wanted people to lose their jobs. Companies to go out of business. Small businesses gone just 8 years ago to prevent Trump from staying in power. And yet now he's here like, oh, Trump kind of makes sense because transgender people are evil. What? I just don't even get that. So what was the big change? I remember during the Obama era, they were talking about transgenders and woke and all this. That was the conversation in 2015. So what the hell is he talking about? I don't know. I really do wonder. I like Jay Boss saying that there. But dude, I don't know if this is like a new wing of Trump support that you're allowed to do as a Democrat, or if this guy is just going to pull a Dave Rubin and how I left the left type thing. I don't know. I don't get it. By the way, that's the end of the show, man. I can't stand this guy. Dude, if you watch this show, the last bit that he did, this Donna Brazile, I hate Donna Brazile, man. Donna Brazile, I'll just show you a little bit of this. This is what it was on Overtime. Where is she talking? Donna Brazile. Look at this woman here.
Time I think they don't know their place anymore, and that's something that men need to decide and discuss. But as a woman, for years, decades, centuries, women had to be overconfident just to appear qualified. So I don't want men to think that the reason why young men are suffering is because some woman. No, young men are dealing with what young women had to deal with centuries ago. You'll find your place at the table. Come sit with me sometime. I'll get you some help.
This woman is a minstrel show, dude. This is like a little bit. She'll be like, I watch CNN between bathroom breaks at night. I love it. Like she is just playing like this character. It's a fucked up. Dude, Donna Brazile. This is why I wanted to add this. Donna Brazile leaked information to Hillary Clinton in terms of the questions that she was going to be asked at a town hall in 2015. She is a disgraced former DNC person. Okay. She, for some reason, is on Bill Maher every other month. She is, you cannot get more establishment than Donna Brazil. And she's out here doing a minstrel show and saying everything she does on Bill Maher. She's like, agreeing with the Iran war here. What is this? I know that this show, as things get weirder, man, I sound more like a naive child. I sound like Theo Vaughn. But serious, I don't understand what the goals of Bill Maher are. If you know what they are, or you can figure it out. I asked Gemini. Gemini was like, it was giving me 3 theories. No one really knows what this old man is doing. I don't even know where he gets the passion for this, to be honest. If you don't have children, how are you this passionate in old age about the future of politics? How are you passionate about the future of Israel and Iran? You're going to not be around in 10 years. What do you care? Your people are not going to be around. But anyway, tomorrow I am starting a new YouTube channel. I'm saying it here because I know at some point it's going to be exposed. We are going to be doing, as I said, a conservative channel. I'm doing it because, as I told you with my woke video, I realized I'm leaving stuff on the table. And I honestly, it's going to be a boomer channel more than a conservative channel. It's going to be for all the boomers out there. So if you see the channel, I might show it to you, fellas. Like and subscribe. You can give away the joke, whatever you want. I'll hide you on the channel. That's fine. But I must make efforts here to understand. And it's going to be a different name. It's going to be a whole thing. And I actually think it's going to get pretty big pretty quick because it's not going to be intellectual. It's going to be how I left the left. It's going to be I found Christ and Christ showed me Trump. It's going to be these Zoomers don't want to work. It's going to be very, very exciting. So everyone, and we'll see you guys tomorrow on stream. Should be back to our regularly scheduled programming. 1 video behind for the Patreon. But I will see you guys then. And tomorrow, we will start a new YouTube channel. And I hope you guys get to enjoy building it. Thank you, everyone that tuned in. J-Boss, Eves, I ate everything. Thank you, Eves. And we had audio vibes, obviously, at the end of the show. I will see you guys tomorrow.
Change the world. My final message. Goodbye.